How are you? How was your weekend?
I'm good. Weekend was busy, very, very busy.
For real?
Yeah. We
You
were
watch this?
filming and it went so over. One of the um one of the girls from the cast was like in Vegas coming
Mm.
back the same day that we were filming and her flight was delayed 3 hours. So we
Um,
went over 3 hours. It was just a long, long, long day.
what was because I will start in a minute, but I know I saw the picture of the thing you were doing. You guys were like sitting at a dinner table or something like that. Is that
Yes, it's a
what
Ponderosa.
what what the hell is
A
that?
Ponderosa where so it's but we were just filming the promo for um like so my understanding is that it's a movie, but it kind of is divided in like chapters, so it's just gonna be like episodes, sort of.
Oh,
But yes, I am in it trying to kind of
mhm.
it's gonna be it's sort of like a murder mystery, like that's what it's gonna kind of end up being. So it all starts with a murder, and then everyone that's at the table basically is like, well, who did it? And everybody hates everybody because everybody has a secret, sort
Oh,
of.
okay.
So
Sounds
very, very
interesting.
interesting. I'm
Yeah.
curious where it's going, but I had a lot of fun. All the other girls were really, really cool. So that scene was really fun. We'll see where it goes.
Okay. Okay. So you want to kick us off?
Yes, hi and welcome to Movie Unboxing with Marty and Bola. We are a writer, director, and actor, and an actress, and now writer too.
Oh, yes, you are. Yeah.
And yeah, I started writing. And each
Good.
week we dive into a film, we unbox it, how it was made, and what makes it tick, talking about the movie from a filmmaker's perspective.
Okay. And today we're going to be talking about, as you can see from the poster, Gladiator 2.
Gladiator
Oh my,
2.
Gladiator 2. Man. Well, let me just give you a little rundown on what this movie is about.
Uh-huh.
So it's 16 years after the end of the first Gladiator. So if you remember the first Gladiator, we ended with Russell Crowe's character.
Epic legend of a film, by the way.
Yes, yes. Let me recap that story. So, Maximus, played by the legendary Russell Crowe, is a top general in the Roman army. The beginning of that first movie, he defeats a Germanian tribe. Germania is kind of like predominantly Germany today and stuff like that. So they
Mhm.
defeat the Germanian tribe, and he's kind of like very cold, very close to the emperor. Emperor's Marcus Aurelius, and so Marcus tells him like, okay, you can probably retire now, or something like that. And and there's a little bit of like a political thing going on there because contrary to popular belief, at that time in ancient Rome, in the early part of the last millennium, um,
Mhm.
the hereditary was not the way we see it today, as in like the king, and then automatically the son would take it over after the king dies.
Right.
That was not politically, something established. That's something that came later on in Europe in the medieval times. And that ancient time, that
Right.
was not an automatic thing. That was not set. So Commodus, who was played by Joaquin Phoenix, the great Joaquin Phoenix as we know him to be now, expects to be named emperor. But contrary,
Right.
but to his shock and amazement, the father says,
Surprise.
"Surprise! You're not going to be emperor." And the he wants to give back. I think he's saying he wants to give back the 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 empire or the government to
Oh,
the
sort of.
people in terms of like the Senate, because prior to Caesar Augustus turning the country, the empire into and turning the government into ruled by an emperor, it's actually was a republic, ruled by the
Right.
Senate. So
He had a
Commodus,
dream.
exactly. So Commodus didn't like that, and so he, killed his own father. And Maximus, played by Russell Crowe, suspects foul play when he's told that the emperor is dead. And instead of bowing down to Commodus, he refuses, and then he is captured, arrested, and his family back in wherever they're located at are killed. And he's supposed to
Mhm.
be killed, but he escapes. And in escaping, he finds out that his wife and son are killed. and then he's sold into slavery, and then into slavery he becomes a gladiator, and then he returns back to Rome as a gladiator to the Colosseum, and there's Commodus and his sister are shocked that he's alive, and you know at the end of the day, he tries to escape to bring his army back to Rome, but the emperor finds out that there's a plot hatching between him, Maximus, the sister, and some senator. And at the end of the day, he's forced to fight the emperor in the arena, and he kills the emperor, but he's been wounded.
Injured though.
Well, he's been wounded mortally, and then he succumbs to his injuries and he dies. And so now we begin with Gladiator 2. And this is 16 years later,
Hmm.
uh, after the events of Gladiator 1. And we meet this guy. I don't know, I forgot what his name is initially. But he is,
You mean in the movie or the actor? Actor Paul
well,
Mescal.
yeah, the actor's name is, I wrote it down. His name is Paul
Paul
Mescal.
Mescal.
Yeah, he's not very popular to me yet. I
No,
don't
I
know.
mean he's British and or Irish even, and I think
Yeah, he's Irish. He's Irish.
whenever I looked at him, like all his history, like move filmography, yeah, definitely was more remained in Europe, sort of like a
Yeah.
more European.
Yeah, so he's not very well known yet, but I think with this movie
He
he'll
might
probably
be, yes.
he'll be well known. So he's some kind of like he's some situated in some province in northern Africa, and
Hmm.
he's like a I don't know, he's kind of like a mercenary. To me, I think he's like a mercenary soldier or something like that. Even though he's established there, he has a wife or, a lover or a love interest there, and they're both warriors. And the Roman army is coming to like, conquer that province. I know he stands
Yet
guard.
another place.
Yeah. And that's the general that leads that Roman army is played by Pedro Pascal. You remember him from the Equalizer, one of the Equalizer movies. You remember him from what's the one on the show on
He's the
HBO?
Mandalorian most recently.
Mandalorian. Yes, I don't watch the
The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Poor
I
guy never gets to show his face, or
Yeah,
he's not credited. Then they finally credit him, and
yeah, Mandalorian. Oh, he's in like the one of the
he was in the second Kingsman.
second Kingsman. What is that?
Kingsman? Have you not watched Kingsman? Because that's the next movie we're doing then, because Kingsman is like absolutely legendary.
All right, I
Uh,
guess I got to watch it. But I think I remember him
yes,
From
definitely. You
Narcos,
would enjoy it.
the HBO show Narcos
Oh,
about the
that's
narcos.
right. Yes, he is in
I,
Narcos.
he's in
That's
that one.
right.
So anyway,
Very
um,
cool dude.
yeah, so obviously the Roman army led by him conquered this town that our main character is a citizen of and is helping to protect, and his
Hmm.
in the battle his wife is killed by
Hmm.
this guy. So he's taken prisoner, and he's going to be sold into slavery in Rome, back in Rome, to be a gladiator. But then we find out that he's married. Pedro's character is actually
Hmm.
married to Connie.
Acacius.
Yeah, Connie Nielsen's character from the first movie. She's a little older
Right.
now and stuff, but obviously
So
16 years.
Lucille,
Lucille or
Sheila.
Lucia, something like that. So he's married to her, which, to me is kind of like, what the hell's going on here? And then we also meet Denzel's character, who is some kind of like a power broker. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yes.
like a power broker. He's a rich man. He's got his hand in the political arena. And he's also got his hands in the
He's the
economic
slave owner,
slave
essentially.
owner and stuff like that. But he's also using it as a way to get some political traction within the government.
Right.
Because at this period we have two emperors ruling at the same time. They're brothers. I didn't know that, but that is true actually. I researched that.
Hmm.
And I didn't
Yes.
know that they had two
That
emperors
might be
ruling.
the only thing that was true out of this film, by the way. Like I I was looking up a couple of things. I was just out of curiosity looking at like breakdowns of this film preparing for this episode, and there's literally one of the things was like, well, if you like an epic historic film, but you're allergic to historic facts, this is a good one.
Well, there are other. We'll get there. We'll get to that point. So anyway, Denzel's character is like a is a rich merchant. He's a power broker economically with regards to like getting slaves into the gladiators into gladiator matches, and he's also trying to use that as a way to elevate himself politically with the two emperors. The two emperors are
Hmm.
like kind of like sadistic, two weird sadistic.
Well, one of them is obviously a little disturbed too,
District.
and that's pretty clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
they're just
they
not
like.
going there. Oh, one of them is played by Joseph Quinn,
Oh,
by the
really?
way, is I didn't recognize him.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't recognize him. It's Eddie, the most beloved character from the most recent Stranger Things season.
Oh, for real?
The long-haired metal guy that plays the Metallica thing on the roof
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Stranger
yeah, yeah.
Things.
Yeah,
He
that's
just
him?
like he looks completely different,
For
and
real.
he
That's
is
what
a
I'm
great
saying.
actor, very obviously, because I didn't recognize him at all.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know. That's great. So obviously, we see that he gets, he becomes a gladiator. But then this is when the things, I mean, it's already weird to me in the beginning, but then it starts getting really
It's a
weird.
slow start. It's a slow start. It feels like it's not really going anywhere at first to me.
Well, it doesn't go anywhere for me because it goes somewhere that I did. It went somewhere that I didn't expect it to go. So come to find out, you remember Connie Nielsen's character Lucille or Lucia?
The
She had a little
former
boy,
emperor's daughter.
former emperor's daughter, and the Commodore's sister from the first movie. She had
Uh-huh.
a son named Lucius Ferris.
Yes. And she sends him away when he's
In
very
this movie,
little for
we
his own
find out,
safety.
yeah, we find out that this guy is actually Lucius Ferris, her son.
Yes.
She sent him
Yes.
away after the emperor was killed, and because he was supposed
Uh-huh.
to be the next emperor. And like I said, in those days, becoming the next emperor was not as easy as just like, oh, the king dies and then you're the prince and
Right.
you become the emperor or something like that. This was very tentative. Like your life could be in danger. It was not set in stone that you would take over. There were, you could be killed. So I guess that's why she was
But this
scared.
little Lucius guy, like
Yeah,
my understanding is, had very high rights and very high possibility that he would have been the next one. So there was a lot of hatred. So she sent him away for his own safety.
but instead, and she
She
pretty much,
promised him she was gonna find him.
it's almost like he got lost in translation somewhere, because that's when he
Hmm.
ends up in this African province and he becomes like one of the warriors there to protect the.
Egypt? Wasn't he in Egypt at some point? There was
It
like
it
pyramids.
was it Egypt? It to me it
There
looked
was pyramids at some point. Like that's what I'm saying. It was not really very consistent. Like there's randomly a bunch of pyramids when he was a little boy, and someone else is coming to get him. So then he's
exactly.
going somewhere else as a little
So
boy.
maybe
I
they
don't know.
sent him to Egypt because Egypt was a province of Rome at the time, and then obviously they came to get him. Then he escapes, and maybe he found himself in another African province. And
Hmm.
so I can't remember what the province was. It might have been maybe Tunisia or modern day Tunisia or Morocco or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
So anyway,
Mm,
we find
none
out
of that
that
was really very clear.
yeah. So we're still getting there. So we find out that that's his mom, and he's bitter about his mom, letting him go and stuff like that, even though
Not
he thought
finding him and just living what looks like her best life up watching gladiators beat each other
exactly, and,
and
and it seems like she's like, he's like forgotten that name and stuff like that. But anyway,
yes.
he's going through this gladiatory thing, and there's actually the battle. There's one battle that I like. That's the naval battle. Now that's true. Like the
Right?
naval, that is true. They were able to pump in water into the
Oh,
Coliseum.
interesting.
Yeah, I've seen a
Okay.
documentary where they were able to do that. There were tunnels and stuff where they could pump water, and they did have mock naval battles. Well, not
Mhm.
it wasn't mock because people were dying. The only thing that wasn't true is that there
Right.
were no sharks.
There were no sharks. I'm iffy about the rhino too.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah, I don't believe that one. I do
Oh,
believe they had.
and the really, really like sick, what is it, rabies monkeys?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell was this? I'm like, oh, I mean,
Yeah,
I
so there's
guess,
a lot of very interesting battles. There was a lot of very interesting things to fight, for the lack of a
yeah,
better word. But he
yes,
fights, he's the best one,
yeah.
just like his father.
Well, we haven't got to that one yet.
We'll
We haven't
get
got to.
there.
We'll get there.
However, the slave slave owner, his owner at that point, Denzel
Denzel
Washington's character,
Washington.
promises him his revenge for his wife if
To
he just
kill
keeps performing really well.
to kill
Yes, so
to
killing
kill
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro's Pascal.
He's blaming Pedro for his wife's death,
Yeah,
which, by the way, that's one thing that I've noticed immediately in the very beginning, whenever they're all sailing off, they've taken over yet another place, they're sailing off, and you can already, they were very, very clear about making Pedro Pascal's face like very sad. And I was like, I immediately asked, like, why is he so sad? What is he so sad about? It was very clear he doesn't want to do this shit. Like he didn't, you know.
yeah. And you can also with his interaction with the two emperors, you can tell that he's not in line with their rule. He's kind of like tired with
Correct.
and that was something common
And that's when
historically.
you start suspecting that Lucilla and him, that that whole hidden, like, we're gonna like throw over this empire thing is still going on.
Yeah.
That's when I
So
started suspecting that that
yeah,
shit's still going on. They're still trying to
and
do that.
what's so apropos about that is that actually something like that was very true and historically because a lot of these emperors were killed by their soldiers or their bodyguards because a lot of them were just batshit crazy,
They
and
went fucking insane. Yeah,
they
and
were
somebody had to
insane.
do it. It's just
Yeah, and
like Game
so
of Thrones.
exactly, and so you had like so this general, paid by Pedro, is kind of like trying to foment some kind of like a coup to like take over, maybe not necessarily take over, but at least get rid of the two emperors because
Mhm.
they're just crazy and stuff like that. Just bad
Yeah,
example.
but still, Lucilla's father had a dream, and I think that that was still there. That they
Yeah,
still
yeah,
really wanted to just stop this system altogether.
exactly. And Denzel Washington's character, he's just trying to look out for himself. He's trying to align himself with the two emperors so that he can gain some
Or
political.
so it seems. Or so it seems.
You think he got an ulterior motive? What's
His,
the
and in the end, in my opinion, his motive 100% was the exact same as Hano's and everyone else's. It was revenge. Because he even said to Lucilla, your father, do you recognize your father's mark on me? Your father owned me,
Oh,
and I'm gonna kill
oh,
all of you.
oh, that is true. He was a slave. I forgot about that.
I'm
Was
telling you. So out of everything, there was a lot of stuff inconsistent. There was a lot of stuff confusing. It was really long in some of the places that it didn't have to be. But Denzel Washington fucking killed. He was amazing in every scene, and his entire role and character was just had the biggest arch, and it just like he surprised at every corner.
and
Like
let's not forget,
I thought he was amazing.
too that we discovered that Lucius Ferris, the little boy from the first movie, who was grown up to be
Mhm.
this guy, his father is actually Maximus Decimus
Maximus.
Brodius,
Yes.
Russell Crowe's character from the first movie. I said, oh
Maximus. So Maximus had an affair. Or, I mean, I guess it's not an affair. The family was already dead, right? The assumption
yeah,
is
we
that the
kind
family
of we
was
kind of
already dead.
suspected that they had something from the first movie, but uh,
Right.
I
Yeah. And
when
then
they
they tried to do these parallels too. There was a couple of scenes in the ring, like in the
it
Colosseum, where
oh
they kind of tried to do the whole like, but
yeah,
um
when Russell.
unfortunately, I think they didn't do this guy any favors because it's very, very, very hard to match Russell Crowe. Like, I don't think anyone would have done a satisfactory job. Like, that's got to be like a really fucking good
All right,
actor
so this is
to,
what
to
I'm not.
beat that.
Yeah, let's go into it right now. I think this was a rush job in terms of writing. It was a rush job.
How can it be?
I
It's
don't.
been 6 years.
It didn't make because we're saying it didn't make any sense to like. Why would you
Look,
write that?
it was so long that I looked up if this whole Lucius character wasn't maybe the Lucius boy from the first movie, but because it was long enough,
It
it's
didn't make
been
sense.
in real time long enough for that little boy to act as his adult version.
But I mean it makes sense if he says like from the timeline. But I'm just more concerned about the story. It was a weak story. They tried to connect it
Yeah.
so much to the first one. It's like they were plucking things. It's like they looked at the first movie and said, "What can we pluck in to make it
So
resonate?"
did it feel to you like this guy? Ridley Scott was like, I made this one epic fucking movie. It was so good. I'm just gonna do the same thing again.
Exactly. It's almost like they did the exact same. They're trying to do the exact same thing. It didn't make any sense at
Well,
all.
because yes, because partially the story was obviously very similar. We have that insane emperor that needs to be thrown over. We have the group that is like the resistance. We're hiding in the chambers and we're gonna do something. We're plotting how to throw them over. But then you have this Denzel Washington character that is meddling everywhere, like he's going into the emperor. He he was so good, and that's why that's like what kept this movie for me, like kept it going for me was he was so good at both sneaking his way until the emperors trusted him 100%. Like you saw it happen from the his first scene. I am here to serve you. I am here to entertain you. Anything for you. Then he's playing Hanno Lucius
Hmm.
with like, here, I'll give you anything you want. You get this guy's head. Just keep fighting for me. I need you to be really good right now. And
Hmm.
then he's like managing to play the two emperors against each other,
Exactly. That was good.
like it just, and obviously he kept the one that was weaker, easier to manipulate.
Exactly, huh?
Like he did the whole, like he, like it was him, like the in my opinion the film was about him in the end, or
It
like
wa-
at least it didn't, it wasn't done that way, but that's what
it
it should
wasn't
be.
yeah, it
His
wasn't
story was
meant
good.
it wasn't meant to be that way, but they actually put a great actor there. And I still think, you know, even with his great acting, the story he just couldn't elevate the story even with his great acting. He did good with his
Mm,
own character. Like you said, he kept the story going because he was the one I was watching. Everything else was just
yes.
flat on it. The story was just weak. I'm sorry. And the writer's name
And
is
then again, whenever you have something like Joaquin Phoenix and Russell Crowe play off of each other, and the chemistry was so incredible. The
yeah.
acting was so incredible that it just, it's hard to match. And that is your comparison point because you can't not compare it to the first one.
Well,
So Pedro Pascal is one of my favorite actors right now, probably the world's one of the favorite actors, and he's amazing. And he did amazing, but his role was even not written that well. You know what I
not written
mean?
that
Like
well. And then I was
he
wondering
didn't
what's
even have that much going on. Like he could have been a much bigger. Like I liked the scene where he goes down on his knees and says, "Look, I know who you are. This is who you are. I never meant to do this." But at the same time, it made absolutely zero sense that after building up for Lucius to be like, all I want is this guy's head because he killed my wife, that the second he says, I'm sorry, I know who you are, I love your mother, he goes, oh, okay. What?
so, and here's the thing.
So there's
Um,
just like too much that didn't make, yeah.
and even Connie Nielsen's character, I'm just like, what was she there for now? Just to remind us from of the first movie? So that
Yeah.
her character
Oh
made no
yeah,
sense.
no, that's definitely what that was. That
It,
I
it,
mean,
it she played
yeah.
no significant role. So here's the thing. If
Hmm.
Ridley Scott had come to me to write this film,
Yes.
this
Let's
is what I
go.
this is what I would have done. So this is still the time of this is still the early years of Christianity.
Hmm.
The Christians are still being persecuted. They're not like
Yes.
Christianity is not exploded yet. So it's still a fringe movement and they're still being persecuted. So I would have done this. I'd have kept Denzel's character. I'd have kept his character, but I'd have done this. And I kept the two emperors. I
Also,
like the
yeah.
what? What'd you say?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. I'd have kept the two emperors. This is what I'd have done. I would have had his character as a Roman, either a Roman general or something there. No, maybe a Roman maybe a mid-level officer, like whatever the colonel, the equivalent of a colonel is in Rome in Roman times. But he's a Christian and he's hiding it.
Okay.
He's hiding it. And his wife and children are I want to say they're Christians too. They're like, they're not Roman, but they're Christian too. So they're hiding this thing from everybody. And so, obviously the beginning, it's a big battle. They go to a battle and they win the battle and stuff like that. and then they come back and been celebrated. Denzel's character is actually the general who's the general leading the battle and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So they're being celebrated and everything like that. So, and then we get to a scene where, we actually reveal that he's actually a Christian and they're hiding it from the family, and he and his family are hiding it. So there the emperors, the two emperors meet Denzel's character and say, like, listen, we've got there's a problem with all this Christian movement happening in Rome. I need you to squash them and stuff like that. So Denzel's character is like, yeah, I'll do that. So he calls on his boy, like, yo, I want you to lead a team. Let's squash these Christians. And so obviously he's going to be conflicted and stuff like that. So he doesn't do it. And that's, sooner or later it's revealed that he's a Christian, and now he's arrested. And now, and his family are arrested too. And Denzel's character tells him, like, listen, if you want to free your family, you have to get into this game. I'm putting together this game so that I can be elevated in the heights of, with the emperors and stuff like that. You become a gladiator, fight your way through this gauntlet of all these gladiators, and then at the end you will get your family back and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
um, so they go through these this, like, he's it's almost like a competition. So there are two teams and they're going through this gauntlet of gladiators and stuff like that. On the other hand, you have another gladiator who is damn, I just got stuck with the story. You know what I'm saying? You have another I mean, that's essentially what I would have done. That's essentially what I would have done. I think
Yeah.
I don't
And
tie.
then you're also like historically sort of correct. Like that's the thing. Like some of this stuff was historically really weird and off too.
Yeah,
But I think my biggest problem is that whenever you're doing something like this, like with the first Gladiator, even though um some of these characters you didn't even see or follow the whole time, like Maximus's wife and child, you don't see them very much or very long, but you really, really, really cared about these people. And you
yeah, you
have
did
to
because
write a story in a specific way that you really, really, really care about these people. I liked and I sort of cared because the moment when the wife got killed, got shot off, and then the moment where he sees her go on the boat, like that was a really cool scene.
yeah,
Where he watches her, go a transition sort of basically. Um, that was a really cool scene. But but in the end, like there was all these people dying and all these people killing each other, and I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like they
I
were
didn't,
all just not, I didn't relate to any of them.
which is
I didn't
why,
even relate to this main character, this main gladiator. If he had died in one of those games,
I
okay.
I wouldn't have cared, and that's
You know
why I
what I
said with
mean?
my version, you put him as a Christian, and he has, he's an undercover Christian or whatever, and his family are Christians, and they're seized from him, and now he has to go through this gauntlet of gladiators to get to the end to
To
free
save
them,
his family.
to save
Hmm.
his family. But at the end, I came up with a character that he has to fight that he really doesn't want to fight, and that's
Hmm.
probably I don't I'm it's probably I don't know who it is, who it will be or something like that. Maybe it's his brother or something like that. I don't know. Something. There has to be a conflict at the end to where he's like, okay, it's between this person that I love and my family. Who do I choose?
Hmm.
And you have Denzel's character who's, plays the same character,
Hmm.
just it's still the same way,
Making
still
everyone fight.
exactly manipulating the emperors to just the same way he did in the film and stuff like that. But I think with what you just said, like, can we resonate with these characters and stuff like I think you will resonate with my story, you will resonate with him. If I put him in that situation where he's a Roman soldier and now
Yeah,
he's an
because you
undercover.
know what? It all started with him already having lost everything.
Exactly. And this is
He
and
didn't
this
really care. He was just like a machine, just fighting through his way through the fights, and that's it. And it was like, okay, but when he dies in any of these, he's already lost his wife. He didn't have any children. It didn't feel like he cared.
yeah, he could have just died and then that would be it. But in this
Yeah.
story, in
So
my
the
version,
only the only death scene that I thought was they were attempting for everybody to care was that he was
mhm,
running to save his
his
mother, and
mother,
that's when
that
Denzel shoots her.
that didn't make any sense at all. Like Denzel just picked up an arrow and just shoots her from all the way from
No,
the
he just wanted it his way. He just wanted it his way.
it
But
didn't
yeah,
it it didn't make it. this version just didn't make any sense. I didn't like it. It was poorly
Some of
written.
it didn't make sense because he also, so here's my other thing. What I loved about Denzel Washington's character was that he was a good mind like manipulator, right? Master manipulator. And he was
Hmm.
manipulating all these people into all these things and playing them against each other and all that stuff. But then he's convincing one emperor to kill his twin brother,
Hmm.
but takes the blade and helps him with it.
Yeah, because like you
And the
said,
same thing with killing the mother. He says, we need to kill her. This is politics. This needs to happen. And when it starts not working out this way, then he's physically doing it himself. It didn't make any sense for that character in my head because in my head, he was not the killer. He was making everyone else do his job for him.
well, so so like you said, when with the emperors, he picks the
Mhm.
weakest one to to control. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
obviously the guy's not gonna be able to do it, so he does it for him, like takes his hand and just stabs the other one and stuff like that. That part where you said like he's been manipulating everybody to do all this, and at the end he starts doing it himself, and it didn't make any sense at all. Which is why I said like the whole thing was just written badly. It really was. It was not. I didn't think it was written good at all. I like my version. If I sit down and really iron it well, I think I could do something. But here's the funny thing. There's two things I like. Here's two things I like about this movie. The first
Hmm.
one is the naval battle. Even though sharks, you couldn't get physically, realistically
How
get
did they
shark.
bring the shark? I want to see the how did
There is no
who
way.
someone
There's
bring the
no
shark
way.
in there? Yeah.
There's no way. No way. They could have bring the like they could bring the sharks in there. But for cinematic purposes, I loved it. It was cool.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
loved
yeah.
it. I would have made it even more bloodier than that, if I was directed it. And number two, if if I wrote this film at my level, I'll be proud.
Well,
I would
yeah, sure.
I would be at my level, I would have been proud of it. But at a Hollywood level, nah, this was not it. This was not it.
Yeah, they could have done better.
They could have
Yeah, and
done
then
worse.
there's this whole end scene where, of course, they physically fight each other. We have Lucius surviving. We have um Denzel Washington surviving, Macronus or whatever, and they fight, and even that fight was really anticlimactic.
It really was. Yeah, you're right. That was the
Like
word I've
it
been
was
looking for. It was
just
like,
not, there was nothing. Like he's in the water, so he sees his mom pass because every time he falls in the water, he sees that, like, right?
hmm
But and then he's stabbing him in that water, but he, like, they've all been shooting each other with arrows, and you're telling me he's standing above him, stabbing him, and he can't get through the armor? That's the only time he can't get through the armor?
like I said, I think this was a rush job. This was a
I'm
rush.
not even that savvy if it comes to this stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah, it was a rush job. It was like, what can we quickly put together and make money? And now you would think like, wait a minute, this cost like what, $100 million or something like that. You would think you would take some time to like really write something and make. I'm beginning to think this was not a Ridley Scott movie. That Ridley Scott did not direct this. Like they just put Ridley Scott's name
like,
on it.
he directed it. He didn't write it, I don't think.
No, he did. It's written by David. Uh, he wrote the Napoleon movie that Ridley Scott directed.
Hmm.
That I like that movie, but a lot of people didn't really
That
like
was
it.
Joaquin Phoenix too,
Joaquin
right?
Phoenix,
I
I
haven't
really
seen it, but I know of it. Yeah.
yeah. And then The Last Castle with Robert Redford and James Gandolfini that came out like in 2000. That was a good one too. But David Copper, I'm sorry, sir.
Well,
I'm
I don't know. I don't want to be like, um, but we're all not getting any younger, Like, I mean, they're not young people anymore. Like maybe they just didn't have, like, they're out of idea. You run out of idea. Look at the world right now.
no, but
Look at the world right now.
but
Like
this
people are
this
desensitized to everything, so
but
your
this
thought process is it's gotta
no
be too
no
bloody, or but like
no. You
they're
don't
out of
have to,
ideas.
Marty. You don't have to make it bloody. You're trying to tell me in the what? How
I
many?
I know this.
Yeah, you want to, I mean, there's like hundreds of years of Roman history. You can pull out.
Yeah,
you could have gone back and done a if you want to do a Gladiator, you could have gone back and done a Spartacus.
yeah,
You could have done a Spartacus. There's so many stories of
yeah.
gladiators in the Roman history that you could have pulled the story if you wanted to do a true story. Now, mine is not a true story, but it is a true event. It is a true period where the Christians were
Right.
being persecuted. You and they were
No,
there.
and and that's what you're doing. You're taking a historic event or a historic, like,
Period.
and you make it personal. You put a family to it. You put a person to it.
Exactly. And
And you make it um make people
something
understand the situation more by putting them into like a person that you like a one individual or like a family to care
exactly
about.
because
Yeah.
historically you did have Roman soldiers who were undercover Christians. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
At the time, you know what I'm saying? When the Christian movement was still a little
I like
fringe.
undercover. I like the word.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm trying to. There's another word I'm looking for. I just keep putting undercover. But they were
I know,
Christians.
I hear you.
A lot of them were Christians, and they were hiding it from the rest
Right.
of the Roman population. So I like my idea. If you know, you put him in a situation where he had to, at first he's told to go kill these Christians, and he refuses, and then it's discovered that he's a Christian, and now he's arrested, and his family's arrested, and now to free them, he has to
I mean,
agree
he
to.
could literally even still be related to someone in the empire who is up there, like Lucilla or Acacius,
No,
whoever.
I don't. No,
And
no, I don't even
yeah,
want her
then he
character.
in
I
the
don't
end
want her
has
character
to
there.
fight these people,
Hmm.
because they are part of the empire, and he has to fight them, and they don't accept the Christianity. So he has to choose, look, this is my brother, this is my father, whatever,
Hmm.
and this is my children, and now I have to lose someone. I have to lose
Well,
something.
that's the part I was trying to work out. Like he at the end of the gauntlet of fighting people, he's got to get to the end where because there's two teams. So one side of the team, he's fighting these group of people, and then the other character where it's gonna be a conflict, he's fighting characters to gladiators too. And then they get to the end, and the two of them have to not fight each other. I
Yeah.
just can't. I haven't figured out what the other guy's motivation is because now they have to
Hmm.
get to a place where he has to like, do I kill this person?
Hmm.
And that's and then save my family, or because there's I can't figure out the conflict yet.
Hmm.
Maybe that second guy is I don't know, his father. No, probably not his father. I don't know, something. If Ridley Scott
No,
come
but I
pay
hear
me,
you.
if you pay me, I'll figure that story out for you, and we can redo
My
Gladiator 2.
husband and I'll go to the library and I'll read actual historic facts and put them
Exactly.
in there.
I'll read it. I'll go to the library. I'll go to the bookstore and get a story about Roman gladiators, and I can pull out a real story for you. But this one,
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
This was
and then let's talk about the ending. We kill Denzel Washington and both of the armies. There's two huge armies, opposing armies,
yeah.
and he just kind of speaks to all of them. And it's like the I have a dream,
I have a dream.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of.
Anticlimactic
Like
again.
my grandfather had this dream. I have a dream, and everybody's just like, okay.
Okay, okay, yeah, we get you. It was
Not a
just
single person in these two opposing armies of millions, not a single person is like, fuck that guy.
yeah, like I'm coming to fight. Like, oh, you're just gonna tell us to just like, yeah, I like that. You said like, oh, I have a dream speech. Like it was. I'm like, what in the world is that?
It was
Honestly,
a little bit like that because it was like, and essentially it's like it was the same thing because the whole point was that the emperors literally have all these slaves to entertain them and they don't care about the people in the streets that are dying of sickness and all that stuff. And he's like, look, all I want is for us to create a world and a country in which everybody's taken care of. So let's elect our people to, or whatever, right?
okay, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. It was just
Yeah.
badly written. It really was. It was a rush job. So that's pretty
There
much it.
was a couple of cool scenes. There was some really good acting in it. But
The
yeah, the
the
story
ne-
was a little
yeah,
confusing and
confusing.
then
And,
inconsistent.
and do you think like with the battle scene,
Mhm.
the gladiatorial scenes, you think they were trying to one up the first movie? Like each battle
Probably.
is
I mean,
it seemed
well,
yeah,
that's
but
the thing though. It's been so many years. The special effects and all that stuff has changed immensely. And this was like the least they could do, right? You know what
it
I mean?
yeah, I'm just like I said,
So why the rhino? Why the monkeys? Like that's the confusing part to me.
honestly, I didn't really mind the monkeys. I just don't know how I just
I don't
don't
like monkeys very much.
I didn't
But
mind
that's
them
not
because
fair, obviously, for um yeah, and then well, I guess I like the that at the very, very end he does the gladiator walk through the same kind of crop, right? Through the same grass with the same ring on,
yeah, I was like, come on, man. And
same
then you
soundtrack.
yeah, you remember I don't mind the soundtrack. You remember when Russell Crowe's character before he fights, he takes dirt into his hands and rubs it. He did that too. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh,
This
he did? I missed that.
yeah, he did. I think he did.
I
Yeah, he
missed
did.
that at some point.
He did.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. What are you guys trying to do? They're trying so hard. It didn't work. It just didn't work for me. It really
Yeah.
didn't. It didn't work.
No, I mean, I liked the moment that I was interested in is whenever they decided, okay, we've captured Acacius and now we're gonna throw him in the ring and he's gonna have to fight Lucius. And I knew he's too much of a stand-up guy, like he's not gonna fight his wife's son.
Son,
So
yeah.
he just goes, look, okay, come at me, bro. Like, just do it. That was cool.
And then was
But
it
that it didn't
then
make any sense that the guy also throws his swords and goes, "Oh, all right, fine. Let's be friends. You just killed my wife like last week.
it
Let's be
didn't yeah,
friends."
it didn't make it wasn't hell,
That
I
would
did
ma that would kind of mess me up. Like
yeah.
something else needed to interrupt this fight if that was the case. But he died anyway. They shot him anyway. And
Yeah.
so my confusion in this is if he had to die anyway, why make it so anticlimactic that Lucius is just like, okay, I won't kill you. Like he absolutely could have
Yeah.
tried to fight him anyway.
Nah, well, like I said,
Or even if he was like, okay, I'm not fighting you unless you pick up that sword and give me a fair fight. That would have made more sense.
I don't think so. I think it was just bad. I think it
At
was
this
just
point, you
bad.
can't save the story.
I think it
No,
was just bad. It was just a bad story. It was just poorly written. It
so
was
what's your rating then?
honestly, I think I give this like Denzel makes it a four.
Really? Yeah,
A,
I was gonna
a,
say a five. I
a four
wanna
out of 10.
because I'll tell you why. Because to me, it is like it's hard to get me interested in these types of movies.
Oh, I
When a
love these.
movie
I
for
love
me
them.
starts with like the battle where you just see like a million people fight each other, I'm already kind of like, I'm not gonna be into this. Like, so
I
I don't want to be unfair, being like, look, I give it a worse rating just because it's not my favorite genre. You know what I mean? I
hmm
want to say the acting was solid. A lot of the special effects were solid. So visually, even the twins resembling not only each other, but even resembling Joaquin Phoenix from when he was the emperor a little bit. Like there was a couple of really cool things. But yes, the story kind of was really messy and the ending was anticlimactic. So I would say, yeah, I would give it a five.
I'll give it. You know what? When you mentioned the special effects and all that, I'll give it a five. I'll give it a five. But it's a weak five for me.
Yeah.
It's a weak five. It's just the story, the plot was just horrible to me. They tried so hard to either live up to the first one or connect it with the first one or one up the first one. It just it was flat for me. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, you
And I think that's the problem because like I think my understanding is like that the general response to this movie was rather disappointed. And I think for the most part that is that because if you go into a movie after seeing the first one, knowing how legendary of a movie that is, um, and how amazing it was, going into it with any kind of expectation coming from that first movie, you're gonna be disappointed, I think.
yeah, you should have this should have just gone with a different storyline altogether. Just a completely don't have any connection to the first one. Because if you're trying to do a continuation, who's there? Everybody's dead. There's no, it's, there's
Yeah,
just,
well, so that's the only thing. The only thing, the way you were supposed to care about this character was that because you absolutely loved Russell Crowe, and that's his son. But so what? Like,
it did, but it still didn't make any sense because
like it's been
they,
20 years, you
yeah, they
know?
made it, they did give us a little like, they did make what's the word I'm looking for? Like they did touch on the fact that they did have a relationship, Russell Crowe and Connie Nielsen's character, but nothing to
Yes.
suggest that they had a son. There was nothing alluded to that. It's just all of a sudden here you
No.
just tell us that's the son. I'm like, that just didn't make any sense. It didn't.
Yeah.
If you were done, it was just poorly written. I'm sorry. It really was
Yeah.
poorly written. I could have, I'm not trying to pat my own, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I could have written something better than this. I'm telling you,
I
Ridley Scott,
believe it. I like your stories.
you should have came to me. I don't even have an agent. Just call me. I would have written something better
I'm
than
writing
this.
Hollywood. Should
Yeah.
have texted Bola.
Text me, call me, email me. I don't have an agent. You should have called me. I would have done something better.
Yeah,
This was this was not it. So yeah, I was kind of
not it.
disappointed. So if you want to go, if you haven't watched this, don't I say don't wait. Don't go watch it, but don't have high hopes.
No, I
Just
would say, you know what? It depends. It depends, but I would maybe go watch it without expecting the same level
I mean
as the first one. And I
it's
think that's what most people did. They went, "Damn, that's such a great movie. They finally made a second one. It's gonna be just as good." Well, no.
nah, it wasn't. It wasn't. But you can still watch it. It's still a little bit interesting to watch. Denzel's characters,
Yeah,
really
no,
makes the movie.
absolutely. Yeah, I
It
didn't
makes the movie
it
go.
didn't
So
feel like, you know how some movies feel like a waste of time. It didn't feel like a waste of time. Like we've still learned from it.
yeah,
For us, like for the people who are like watching it to learn. And there's some performances that, yeah, no, I think, and especially Denzel Washington, and a lot of people will watch a movie just because Pedro Pascal is in it. I know it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
So that's
yeah.
it. That's
What
it.
do you think about the next film? Did you already have something lined up, an
Well,
idea
it's
for
your
the
it's
next?
your it's your turn to do
It's
the
my
lines.
turn. Well, I
Yeah.
would actually suggest the Kingsman then. It's not a new movie anymore. I'm surprised you haven't seen it, but I just think you would really love it. So here's what the flyers in the Polish, I was still in Europe when it came out. The Polish movie theater said on the flyers about this movie. Kingsman is as if Quentin Tarantino tried to make a Bond film.
Oh, so is this the one with Samuel Jackson? Like they're
Samuel Jackson's in it, yes.
Okay, okay. I haven't seen it. Okay, I'll
Okay, so
let's.
I would suggest it, but I don't know where it is available. So we would have to see if we have avail access to it, you know.
I mean, it's probably you probably can get it on YouTube and rent it for like 3.99
Oh,
or
okay.
on Amazon. Probably rent it for 3.99. Let me find out
So that's
tonight.
the we would have to do the first one and then we would have to address the second one too because it's two worlds. Like
Oh, so we have to watch the first one and then do the second one. All right, let's do this. You just watch the first one and then we'll see. Maybe like the next two episodes we'll do the second one and stuff like that.
either that or yeah, we'll do this one, then we'll talk about something else and then we'll go back to the second
Yeah,
part of that
yeah.
one.
All right.
Okay.
So guys, that's it for today. Please like the video, subscribe to
Yes,
the
please like,
channel,
subscribe, share.
comment. Please tell me if you agree with my assessment of our assessment of the film. What do you think about the film? And do you like my idea? Please let me know
What
if
do
you
you
like my.
think of Bola's story? Yes, and we
I think,
also absolutely please comment with any kind of recommendations what you want us to talk about next because
yeah,
there's a lot out there. I don't know
yeah,
like how long we can keep coming up with our own
exactly.
ideas.
As long as you don't come up with a horror film, I'm gonna do horror. Do you do horror films?
You know, watching horror?
I don't know. I don't want to watch horror. I'm scared.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you know what? You know
If
what?
you watch a horror film eventually, you'll have to.
Well, I probably have to. So, especially if we get to like October and it's like Halloween month,
That's
then
all that's
like
coming out. Yeah.
that's it. So I gotta watch horror. I'm not looking for as long as we're not watching
Look,
what's the name? The Exorcist.
Saw. Oh, extra. Oh, yeah, that kind of stuff. It's not my thing either, honestly.
I
Not
I'm
more.
telling you,
It
I
used to be. I used to be a horror fanatic when I was younger.
no. Anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.